Welcome back to Crony Biker's Garage. Now, if you've got accessories on your bike like I'm about to fit, you might want to consider fitting a relay. They cost about £4 and they could potentially prevent you from coming back to a flat battery, and in this video I'm going to show you how. Now, as you can see, I've been buying a few bits for the NC750X, my new bike. A lot of them are going to require a 12-volt connection. Now, I don't want to go into the bike's loom and start overloading it. I've got a few things ordered that are going to take 12 volts, including the Oxford heated grips. They were on offer actually from Sports Bike Shop, $49.99 bargain. I've got the TomTom, which is going to need hard wiring in. I've got a couple of USB chargers. Now, I saw this one on eBay and I had an idea. Look at that, it was less than a tenner, and as soon as I saw it I thought, I know where that could go. I thought to myself, look at that. Look at that. That's almost made for that square slot there. But obviously I've got a lot of things to wire up. That's why I'm going to wire in a relay to run everything. So I've got that one, and I've also got this one, because this one's going to be, that one's going to be in the front, that way up. That one's going to be in the front so that I can charge my drone or camera batteries or whatever when I'm on tour. This one, you still want one on your handlebars, don't you, for when you're driving. You want to be able to charge your phone and any other bits and bobs. So I found this, it's quite small. It's got a switch on it, it's a dual USB, it's got a waterproof cover, and it comes with the wire, obviously. That's going to get wired into the relay. So I will have 4 USBs on the bike, 2 in the front, 2 on the handlebars. Now, I haven't decided yet where I'm going to fit this. As you can see, the TomTom bracket is on, but it's not wired in. So we're going to get some tools out and start taking this plastics off.
Next step is to...
Now, we've got all these panels to take off, but I'm not going to video showing you do that. I'm going to refer you to this excellent video on YouTube by KSS Studios. Just type in 2021 NC750 USB charger kit install. He does a fantastic video on how to remove the plastics, so I highly recommend you go and check that out. So we're going to follow this video and remove all of the plastics so that we can get to the wiring loom to where we need to be. So let's do that. Now, if you already know how a relay works, ignore this bit. This is just for the people that don't know what one is or what it's for. So basically, this is just a remote control switch. So any of your accessories that you want to run on your bike, whether it be hot grips or sat nav, spotlights, USBs, anything, if you put them through a relay, you can use your bike's ignition to turn this on and off. This is just like a remote control switch. So this is the wiring diagram I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give you a quick demonstration as well, because I've got a motorcycle battery here. So we're going to connect this relay to, imagine this is to the motorcycle battery. So pin 30, you can just about see the pins are marked on there. So pin 30 will be to your motorcycle battery. Now, you've also got to ground this as well to your negative of your battery, which can be direct to the battery or it can be to the metal frame of the bike. So that's got to be, now this relay is getting its own power directly from the battery. But you don't want to run things like that because you could have a parasitic draw and you could come back to a flat battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this relay to power things. Now, just for the purposes of this demonstration, imagine this is whatever, heated grips, spotlights, USBs or whatever. Okay. And then the reason we find an ignition live in the motorcycle wiring loom is like this, because imagine this is the ignition going on and off. So you turn the key on your motorcycle and you've suddenly got power to the relay. You've got power flowing through it, and when you turn your bike off, it disconnects. But this relay is able to, well, this particular one can accept 30 amps. I've also gone for a relay with its own inbuilt fuse, but you don't have to do that. I've just done that as an extra precaution, provided that there is a fuse in line with the power going into the relay. It's got to be fused somewhere. So that's it. It is as simple as that. Key on, everything works. As soon as you switch your bike off, heated grips, spotlights, USBs, they all turn off. And this, in fact, I'll show you. We're just going to do away with that a minute, and I'm going to show you why we use a relay. Now this is, imagine this as that wire, but I'm just sending it through a multimeter. So if we connect that, this relay only needs 0.13 of an amp to trigger. So it's basically, it's not putting any load on your motorcycle's wiring loom whatsoever. You're taking all the load directly from the positive of the battery. So I hope that has managed to explain it to you, and that is the reason I use a £4 relay. So let's get it connected on the bike and we'll start wiring everything in. Right, so we've managed to get all the plastics off, and it was quite easy following that video. So the next thing we need to do is we need to try and find an ignition trigger to run the relay that we're about to fit. Now there's quite a few accessory sockets on this motorcycle, but I think this is the original one that runs the USB anyway, so we're going to use this as the trigger. So you're going to remove that, you're going to press that in and remove the blanking cover. If I could have found the original Honda plug, I would have bought one, but I was unable to locate one. So what we're going to do instead is we're just going to determine which of these slots is the ignition live. And my guessing is it's going to be the red one with a purple or a blue trace. So in order to find out, we're just going to get a multimeter. We're going to find a way, I mean this is just a little pick tool that I've got. We're going to find the red one, which is this one. We're going to dip it and there's nothing. No volts, but if we turn the ignition on, there you go. So we know that that red wire is triggered by the ignition, but we don't want to put all of our accessories onto that because it's only a little wire, and if you've got sat nav, heated grips, USB chargers, it could overload it. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to fit the relay somewhere. There's plenty of room as well under here. We're going to fit the relay. Right, now we've got to find a nice place for this relay to go, and thankfully it's all under cover there, so I'm not worried about anything getting wet. But this metal bracket here that the coil's on, which is also grounded to the negative, I think that's going to be a nice place. So I'm going to place it up there. I'm going to place it as high up as we can, and we're going to drill a little hole in that metal bracket and we're going to mount it on there. Just tapped a little hole for a little machine screw. Now I'm going to remove this screw again, just so I can use this as an earth as well. So now that's mounted, it's not in anything's way. Now I can start connecting all the wires up. Right, so I've made some wires up. Now I always like to put an inline fuse right next to the battery, so if anything goes wrong with the system, it's just going to blow that fuse for safety. So I've made some wires. These are a little bit thicker. These wires can probably take 30 amps anyway, easy. So I'm just going to bind these up. We're going to connect these to the battery. We're going to route them around and bring them out here. We're not going to put the fuse in till the very last minute, so everything stays dead. So we're just going to bind these up, make them all nice and neat, and connect these onto the battery. Now I've taken this rubber grommet out, and the actual USB that I'm going to be fitting doesn't quite fit, so I'm just having to open the hole out a bit with a file. Right, so we've got the hole filed to the right size. We've connected the wires on, positive and negative, red and black. Now there you go. I think that is a really neat little USB. You'd still get your crash helmet in there, and you can charge two things, which is fantastic. So I've put the other twin USB there, look, which is going to be dead handy for charging the phone. It's quite solid, and all I've used is I got some of this off eBay, a roll of very high bond double-sided tape, and it's the same kind of tape they use for sticking the pads onto the GoPro mounts onto the side of your crash helmet, so it should be okay. So I've got that one there. I've ran the wire across there and down. The next job is the tom-tom. Oh, here we go, I've got it. There we go, look. Right, so this is the tom-tom. Right, so we've got the tom-tom wire, we've zip tied it there, and we've sent it just down the side of there where the screen bracket is, and it's come out here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Honda grommets that are already there to send the cable through. There you go, and it just keeps everything nice and neat. And now this has got about 1 metre of cable on for this tom-tom, and I don't want to chop it all off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to coil it all up and just zip tie it somewhere inside, out of the way. Now the next thing we've got to do is we've got to get that trigger, which is on this plug. So I'm just going to cut this. Just going to cut this sheathing back to expose the red wire, which is that one, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to piggyback off of that and tape it all up. So let's do that. Right then. And this only needs to be a little thin wire, because as I was showing earlier, all it is a 0.13 of an amp, and then we're just going to solder this on. There we go. Right, now we need some waterproof tape to cover that. This is that stretchy tape that sticks to itself really good. And there we have it, waterproof. Now we can put this back over and tape it up. Now we've got the trigger, we can reassemble this plug. Now we're going to give that a bit of extra length and we're going to put a spade on it. Okay, send that up behind. Right, so as we said earlier, on the relay, pin 88, that is going to be the ignition trigger. Okay, that's going to trigger the relay. Now these are coming directly for the battery. These heavier cables, these are coming direct from the battery, so they're going to go on as well. Obviously, I haven't got the fuse in yet. So you wouldn't do that if you've got the fuse in, because you just blow it. And as we said earlier, pin 30, which is that one. Pin 30 is your direct power from the battery, okay? And then pin 85, which is on the side, yeah, pin 85 is your ground. Now this is the pin that can power all of your accessories, whatever it may be. So we're going to join everything into this. So we've got the wires from the WSB in the front. We've got the wires from the WSB up on the dashboard, and we've got the wires from the TomTom. But I'm also going to put another wire on, because later on I'm going to do the heated grips. Right, so while I'm in here, I'm going to get the Oxford heated grips power cable, but because I'm not going into the battery, I won't need them, so I'm just going to cut it off somewhere, because I imagine that the plugs and everything are going to be behind here, so I'll cut it about there. Let's get the ground wires all together, which is 1, 2, 3 things, plus heated grips. Bit of heat shrink just to keep it all nice, and then because these are ground wires, we need to put a ringlet on these ones. Okay, I'll slide that bit of heat shrink up. Make it nice and neat. Right, let's get those all joined together. So why have I got 5 red wires? So you've got the USB in the front, you've got the USB on the dashboard, you've got the TomTom, you've got the heated grips, and I'm also putting a spare wire in case I put some spotlights on or anything, which I probably will do on account of I've already got some, but I can't fit them because I've got no engine bars yet. So if anybody doesn't know what to get me for Christmas, I'll have some engine bars, please. Get that on nice. There we go. Right then, so this is all the accessories. So that's going to go onto pin 87 at the back. Okay, but I'll tell you what I'll do first. Bit more heat shrink over that one, with it being the live one. Just for a bit of extra. So that goes onto there. Okay, now as I said earlier, because this is grounded, if we get one of them star washers, let me see if I've got one. To go on there, go on there. Do that up good. Right, we're going to coil this up for later. But what we can do is, we can try it. Right then. All we've got to do now is put the fuse into the inline, which will power the relay. Put the waterproof cap on it. There we go. Now then, everything should work on the ignition. Now let's try it. There you go, the tom-tom's come on. That's lit up nice and blue, which is good because you'll be able to see that at night time. Let's see if we can charge things. There you go, look, that's charging the charge pack. Let's try the one on the handlebars. Yeah, there you go, everything's working. So that is everything working. There's the USB, double USB in the front. If you turn the key off, it goes off. There's one on the dashboard, double one there, look, it lights up with the ignition. Everything goes off. Tom-tom works. And there's everything wired in nice and neatly. There's the relay. That's going to be for the heated grips, which will be another video. And I've also got a spare live that comes through the relay. So now I've got the dual USB on the dashboard, the dual USB in the front, the tom-tom and any other accessories I fit are going through the relay, and I've now got the peace of mind to know that whenever I turn the key off, it's going to disconnect power from all of those accessories, thereby eliminating the risk of a battery drain. So if you've enjoyed the video, give us a like and a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.